Yesterday, I received the very sad news that Fry's Electronics would be closing completely. Not even just going to online, but they are completely closing down. And it really hurt to read that news because it was an amazing place. Like I had done a lot of video over the past summer because I was going to create this video and I was going to actually call it "Will Fry's Electronics Survive the Pandemic?" And obviously they didn't survive it. So now I have to change it, but I have plenty of footage here to show you. But before I get into Fry's a little bit more, there's this company called Radio Shack. And many years ago in the early 90s, they opened up this store, this retail chain called Incredible Universe, and it was massive. I mean, this was hands down the biggest electronics store you were ever gonna see. I'm talking so large that it was like 2 Costco wholesale warehouses put together. I mean, it was massive. It was aptly titled Incredible Universe because it was that incredible. And it didn't last very long. They went out of business. They had a lot of bad policies and their prices weren't really actually the best. But Fry's comes along in the early 2000s here to Georgia, and they had 2 locations that I knew of. And once again, you have this massive building that's the size of, you would say a larger Home Depot or perhaps a larger wholesale club, Costco, Sam's, you pick it. But a massive warehouse, and you would not believe all the stuff they had. They even had this one area that was specifically set up for nerds. It had like capacitors and motherboards, and all the stuff was out on display. It was a beautiful thing, and I just feel like we took it for granted. But here's the thing. I don't really feel like the pandemic killed Fry's. I think that e-commerce killed Fry's. Fry's had Fry's.com, and they were trying to keep up with that. But what really killed them, and what's killed a lot of industries, and we don't really pay attention to it. We take things for granted. Let's just say we are really, as a society, we really are epitomizing the microwave generation. So we want everything now. We want everything in the comfort of our own homes. We don't want to go to bookstores anymore and read. That's why we only have Barnes & Noble now, and a lot of other smaller bookstores and other retailers have just died out, And I feel like I'm partly to blame for the demise of Fry's.com because, there was a point that where I would be at Fry's and I would always, I didn't do this in the beginning, but I would look at my Amazon app and check to see if Amazon had a better price and if it would come out better for me. And if it did, and if it was, the savings were significant, then I would go on and order from Amazon rather than order it from Fry's. Now, I will say this, Fry's didn't have the most lenient return policy. And that can kind of hurt you. If you're not lenient with your return policy, I really think it can do you in. The perfect example is Bed Bath & Beyond. They had this return policy that was absolutely ridiculous. Like you could just return stuff anytime. Sort of like Costco, but even above and beyond what Costco will do. They stopped doing that, and now they're about to just go under because everyone's getting everything online. Nobody wants to go to the store anymore. It's crazy. I just wanted to drop this real quick video just talking about what that store meant to me. I mean, you could get any type of electronic or appliance or anything. It had this really impressive video game section if you were into video games. It had a cafe in the center, and it had, decent stuff. It wasn't anything to write home about, but still. And they had this huge staff of people, and most of them really knew what they were doing. They knew tech, and they were there to help you. And anything you needed to get in the world of electronics, it was at Fry's Electronics. And it's gonna be a real shame to see all that go because I definitely supported them the best I could. I bought some things from them over the summer that I could have easily bought from Amazon, but I decided to buy it from them because I felt so bad being in that store. And aside from the staff, I was the only person in there, and I'm not exaggerating. It was crazy. The parking lot was empty and there was no one in the store, and I just knew the writing was on the wall at that point. So anyway, rest in peace, Fry's Electronics. I really appreciate what you brought to all the consumers in this country. You were a great store, and you will be missed. That is for sure.